A single bell sound could summon an army, announce your death, or send you to the gallows. One instrument. That much power. How? The earliest bells date back roughly 5,000 years to ancient China, where archaeologists have found bronze bells used in religious ceremonies as early as 3000 BCE. These weren't simple noisemakers. Chinese craftsmen developed such sophisticated casting techniques that some ancient bells could produce two distinct musical tones depending on where they were struck, a level of precision unmatched anywhere else in the world for thousands of years. Ancient civilizations everywhere discovered something powerful about bells. Sound travels farther and faster than any messenger on foot. Egyptian, Mesopotamian, Greek, and Roman societies all developed bell-like instruments to announce ceremonies, mark time, or warn of danger. In a world without instant communication, a single ring could reach an entire community in seconds, something nothing else at the time could do. Christianity turned the bell into something far more powerful than a signal. By the 5th and 6th centuries, churches across Europe began ringing bells to call worshippers to prayer, and this practice expanded rapidly through the medieval period. These bells didn't just announce services. They marked the hours of the day for towns with no other reliable clock, effectively giving the church control over how ordinary people structured their entire lives. This control reached into life's most private moments. Church bells rang differently for weddings, births, and funerals, each pattern instantly recognizable to anyone within earshot. A specific mournful ring, known as the passing bell, announced when someone was dying or had just died, alerting the whole village at once. Your most personal moments became public information the second a bell began ringing. Bells also carried a darker purpose, warning entire communities of danger. Alarm bells rang for approaching armies, fires, and floods, and towns built specific towers purely for emergency signaling. But this same system could be weaponized. Whoever controlled a town's bell controlled its ability to organize resistance, coordinate defense, or rally people toward rebellion. This is exactly why invading armies throughout medieval history targeted church bells directly. When a town fell, destroying or melting its bells was a deliberate tactic, stripping the community of any way to warn each other or fight back. Bells were sometimes melted straight into cannons, turning a symbol of community and warning into a literal weapon of war. Bells played a genuinely terrifying role during the Black Death in the 1300s. As plague deaths mounted across Europe, church bells rang so constantly, marking funeral after funeral, that some towns eventually banned bell ringing for the dead entirely. The non-stop tolling had become so psychologically devastating that officials feared it was worsening public panic during an already catastrophic crisis. Bells also became tangled up with law and punishment. So-called hanging bells were rung specifically to announce public executions, drawing crowds to witness the event. In some regions, a bell told the exact moment a prisoner was executed, turning the same instrument used for weddings and prayer into a public signal of state-sanctioned death. The Industrial Revolution gave bells an entirely new, less symbolic job. Factory bells replaced church bells as the sound structuring daily life for millions of workers, ringing for shift changes, meal breaks, and closing time. The same power once used to summon prayer or warn of danger now enforced labor schedules on workers who had no say in the matter. From ancient Chinese bronze ceremonies, to church bells dictating medieval daily life, to armies melting bells into cannons, to factories controlling labor with a single ring, the bell's history reveals something unsettling. For thousands of years, one simple sound has organized communities, announced death, warned of danger, and enforced authority over people who had no choice but to listen. The next time a bell rings for something as ordinary as a school class, remember, this same sound once summoned armies and sent people to their deaths.